In the second inquiry, called slander, we hear about great lies and censure. In the past, it seems, the Buddha to be was born into a low-caste family and dwelt as an unknown and failed scoundrel called Munali. Then a powerful and majestic independent Buddha called Surabhi arrived near to his place on some business or other. After seeing him, he slandered him, saying, "This ascetic is unvirtuous and wicked." Through that unwholesome deed, he underwent suffering in the Naraka hell and so on for countless thousands of years. In his last state of existence, when the sectarians at the very beginning had become famous, during the time of the Gracious One's residence in the Tusita realm, they went round and deceived the whole people by teaching the 62 views. Descending from the Tusita city and being reborn in the royal Sakyan clan, he by and by became the Buddha. The sectarians, like glowworms when the sun arises, lost their gains and respect, and they went round bound by hatred towards the Gracious One. At that time, a merchant of Rajagaha bound a net across the Ganges, and while sporting saw a stick of red sandalwood and thought, "In our house there is plenty of sandalwood." So after preparing a lathe and having a bowl prepared by the wood turners, he hung it from a series of bamboo sticks, had the drum beaten, and said, "To those who come and take this bowl out of the sky with their psychic power, I will provide a constant supply of food." Then the sectarians thought, "We are lost now, we are lost now." But the Niganthanataputta spoke like this to his assembly, saying, "After approaching the bamboo, I will make as though I will jump into the sky, and you must say, 'Do not show your psychic power for the sake of this miserable bowl,' and after grabbing my body, you must prevent me from jumping." And after approaching that place, they did just that. Then Pindola, Bharadwaja and Moggallana, having ascended to the top of a mountain 3 leagues in extent, while wrapping their robes around to go on alms round, heard that uproar. At that, Moggallana said this to Pindola Bharadwaja, "Go through the sky and take the bowl." But he said, "Venerable sir, you were placed in first position for one endowed with psychic power by the Gracious One. Surely you should take it." But Moggallana gave the order, "You must take it." So standing there, Pindola Bharadwaja lifted that 3-league stone mountain on his foot and covered the whole of the Rajagaha town like a bowl with its lid. Then the town dwellers, seeing the elder wielding that crystal mountain like a thread, shouted out, "Venerable Bharadwaja, you must save us," and shook fearfully from head to foot. Then the elder put that mountain down from the place he was standing, and went through the air with his psychic power and grabbed the bowl. And the town dwellers made a great uproar. The Gracious One, sitting in the bamboo monastery, having heard that sound, asked Ananda, "What sound is this?" Ananda answered, "Venerable sir, Bharadwaja has grabbed the bowl, and the satisfied town dwellers have made a sound of acclamation." Then the Gracious One, who was free from the censure of others, had that bowl brought, broken and powdered, and had it given to the monks. After it was given, he laid down a training rule, saying, "Monks, one should not perform miracles by psychic power, for he who does perform one, there is an offence of wrongdoing." Because of that, the sectarians said, "It seems that a training rule has been laid down for his disciples by the ascetic Gotama, that they will not transgress even for the sake of life. But now we will perform a miracle of psychic power." And there and then they came together and made a great uproar. Then King Bimbisara, after hearing that, approaching and worshipping the Gracious One and sitting on one side, said this to the Gracious One: "The sectarians, Venerable Sir, proclaim, 'We will perform a miracle of psychic power.' I also, great King, will perform one. But, Venerable Sir, was not a training rule laid down for his disciples by the Gracious One?" "Great King, I will question you. For those eating mango fruits and so on in your garden, you apply a rule saying there is so much punishment. But is that applied if you have collected them?" "There is no punishment for me, Venerable Sir." "Even so, great King, the training rule that was laid down is not for me." "Where, Venerable Sir, will the miracle be?" "Near to Savatthi, great King, at the root of Ganda's mango tree." "Very good, Venerable Sir, we will see it." Because of that, the sectarians who had heard the miracle, it seems, will be at the root of Ganda's mango tree, had the mango trees in every part of the town cut down. The citizens set up terraced stands, scaffolding and so on along the great courtyards, and all those who dwell in the Rose-Apple Island came together, and they stood spread out for 12 leagues in the easterly direction, and assembled as suitable in the other directions. When the Asala full moon day arrived, the Gracious One, after completing his duties in the morning, approached that place and sat down. At that time the gardener, Ganda by name, after seeing a fully ripe mango fruit in a red ant's nest, thought, "If I give this to the king, I will receive the value in money, but if I offer it to the Gracious One, I will be successful in this world and the next." So he offered it to the Gracious One. After accepting it, the Gracious One ordered the elder Ananda, "Have this fruit crushed and please give me a drink." And so the elder did. After drinking the mango juice and giving the mango seed to the gardener, he said, "Plant this." He removed the sand and planted it, and the elder Ananda sprinkled it with his water jug. At that time a mango sprout arose, and as the multitude was watching, it was seen to be heavy with branches, aerial roots, flowers, fruits, and fresh leaves. They ate the mango fruits which had fallen, but even all those who dwelt in the Rose-Apple Island were unable to finish them all off. Then the Gracious One made a jewelled walk from the easterly universe to the westerly universe, and on the top of Mount Meru in this universe, countless assemblies cried out their lion's roar, and all is as it is recorded in the commentary on the Dhammapada. He performed a great miracle of psychic power, crushed the sectarians and converted them. At the end of the miracle, because it was the practice of Buddhas in former times, he went to the realm of the 33 and undertook the rains retreat there, and taught the abstract teaching continually for 3 months, helping countless guards with his former mother at their head attain the path of stream entry and so on. On completion of the rains retreat, he descended from the guards, and surrounded by crowds of guards and deities, he descended to the gate of the city of Sankasa, seeking the welfare of the world. Then the Gracious One's gains and respect flowed in from all over the Rose-Apple Island, like the 5 great rivers. But the sectarians, having lost their gains and respect, pained and depressed, sat down with hunched shoulders and fallen faces. Then the female lay follower, the maiden known as Chincha, seeing them sitting there like that, asked, "Venerable sirs, why are you sitting there pained and depressed?" "But sister, are you not bothered?" "Why, venerable sirs?" "Sister, from the time the ascetic Gotama arose, our gains and respect have been destroyed, and the town dwellers have no more regard for us." "What can I do about this?" "It behoves you to bring the ascetic Gotama into disrepute." Saying, "That is my duty," she endeavoured therein, and after going to the Jaitaswood monastery at the wrong time, she stayed at the nearby sectarians' nunnery. But in the morning, when the town dwellers had taken incense and so on, as they were going along for the purpose of worshipping the Gracious One, she made like she was departing from Jaitaswood. On being asked, "Where did you sleep?" she said to them, "What is my sleeping place to you?" and departed. But by and by, when she was asked while leaving, she said, "Having slept alone with the ascetic Gotama in the fragrant cottage, I am departing." The foolish worldly folk believed it, but the wise, stream enterers and so forth, did not believe it. One day, after binding a circle of wood to her stomach, putting on a scarlet cloth, and going with the assembly together with the king to listen to the teaching, while sitting there she said this to the Gracious One, "Dear ascetic, you teach the doctrine. Why do you not seek garlic, chili and so on for me on account of your son who is in my womb?" "Whether that is true or false, sister, you know, and so do I." She said, "The two of us know the truth about our sexual association, but no one else knows." At that moment, Sakka's stone throne was seen to radiate heat. Sakka considered, and after understanding the reason, gave an order to two of the gods. "Make for one of yourselves the form of a mouse and cut through the bonds holding her circle of wood, and the other should produce a whirlwind and lift up her dress." They went and did just that. The circle of wood, while falling, cut off her toes. All the worldlings in the doctrinal hall, having gathered round, said, "Hey, you wicked villain! To such a one as the Lord of the three worlds you have made such a slanderous remark." And after rising up, each of them gave her a blow with their fists, and drove her from the hall, and as she passed out of sight, the earth opened up. At that moment the flames of a Vichy hell rose up, and clothed with the scarlet blanket given by her family, she fell into a Vichy, and the Gracious One's gains and respect greatly increased. Therefore it is said, "There was a disciple of Buddha Sabbabibu named Nanda. Through slandering him, I transmigrated through hell for a long time. For 10,000 long years I transmigrated through Nirya hell. When I received an existence as man, I received much slander. Through the remainder of that deed, the Brahmin maiden named Chincha slandered me with lies at the head of an assembly of people.